Pip, Griffin Newman, begins the movie by telling his two chipmunk sons the tale of Giselle, Amy Adams. She was discovered as a young kid in Andalasia and reared by woodland creatures. After being taken from the kingdom to New York City, where she met Robert, Patrick Dempsey, and Morgan Phillip, Gabriella Baldacchino, she had her big adventure. Sophia was born to Giselle and Robert after their marriage. Pip tells his sons that there is a completely different scenario that happens even though they believe this was their happily ever after. Giselle and Robert are struggling with city life, and Morgan has developed into a snarkier teen than when Giselle first met her. Giselle decides they need a change and has them relocate to Monroeville, a suburban community. Giselle reassures Morgan that they may start a new life there despite her fears about leaving her former home. Even more enchanted, she and Robert make over Morgan's room, but when they turn on a broken light switch, it starts to burn. Malvina Monroe, Maya Rudolph, the snobbish chairwoman of the town council, and her two lackeys Rosaline, Yvette Nicole Brown, and Ruby, Jema Mays. They allude to a fairy tale. The following day, Edward, James Marsden, and Nancy, Adina Menzel, who are now the king and queen of Andalasia and have created a portal to the Phillips' new residence, pay the family a visit. The Andalasian wishing wand, the magic of Andalasia, which is only used by a real daughter of Andalasia, is given to them by the two. A scroll with instructions on how to utilize it securely is also left behind. Giselle talks to Edward and Nancy about how dissatisfied she is with her life right now as Morgan gets ready for school. They demonstrate faith in her ability to make sound decisions. Robert starts riding the train to work, which quickly makes him miserable. Morgan is trying to blend in at her new school, but no one talks to her but Tyson, who assists her with picking up her books. She complains to Giselle about having to get used to her new house. Then Giselle sees a poster for a party Malvina is hosting, which gives her an idea. To help Malvina be chosen as the princess at the winter ball, Giselle bakes cupcakes and sets up a booth at her event. Morgan is only made to feel worse by this, and Malvina tells Giselle to leave the podium because she isn't a town councilor in good standing. Giselle tries to cheer Morgan up at home by displaying a memory tree that she made when she was young. When Robert returns home to try and help, Morgan snaps and states Giselle is not her mother but her stepmother, which hurts her feelings. Pip visits Giselle through the portal as she sings to herself about what she desires, fairy tale life. When Giselle realizes what she wants her wish to be, she gets an idea and grabs the wand. The following morning, when Giselle awakes, she notices that Morgan is happier, the other animals are singing, and her house is more tastefully built and furnished. Giselle understands her request was granted. Additionally, Robert develops into a more macho hero, or at least he tries to be. Even the remainder of the town changes its name to Monroeville and becomes more wacky. Now possessing magical abilities, Malvina rules the town as the evil queen and is informed by her magic mirror Edgar, Oscar Nunez, that Giselle is more powerful than she is. To make a good impression on Tyson, who is actually a royal here, Giselle goes to buy Morgan a new dress. Something evil starts to take control of Giselle when the hourglass strikes. She purchases every dress and tears the one Morgan chose. Giselle brings Pip upstairs to Morgan's chamber, which is a dingy old attic, after noticing her change in behavior. Giselle worries that the wish is starting to make her a bad stepmother because she is getting crueler and more vain by the hour. Pip also develops into a fat cat because nasty stepmothers frequently keep evil cats as pets. Robert makes an effort to save the day when he stumbles into a dragon's cave full of terrified onlookers. He is expelled twice, and despite Robert's best efforts, he is burned on the third occasion. The magic scroll, voiced by Alan Tudyk, tells Giselle and Pip that they have till midnight to reverse the wish before it becomes irreversible. The fact that the desire uses Andalasia's magic, which would be fully depleted of magic if Giselle is unable to reverse it, makes the situation worse. When Morgan is out and about, perfect, she bumps across Tyson, who seems to be interested in her as well. When Giselle, who is looking for a solution to her issue, sees them together in town, her evil stepmother instincts take over and she begins to feel envious of Morgan's increased attention. She forbids Morgan from going out with Tyson by making her remain at home and do housework. Rosaline and Ruby are dispatched by Malvina to Giselle's house to retrieve her wand. They take it, but Malvina isn't from Andalasia, therefore her effort to wield the wand is unsuccessful. Then, they locate the scroll and look for a way to activate the wand's enchantment. Robert tries to play the hero once more as a behemoth starts to trample through town. Even though he is powerless to stop the giant's attack, Robert is praised by the girl's parents for saving their daughter from being buried in debris. Giselle starts to alternate between her normal and wicked selves as Morgan pursues her after realizing something is wrong with her. She pushes Morgan into the well that transports her to Andalasia, where Edward and Nancy can assist her after telling her that she is the one who needs assistance now. Then, Giselle turns completely wicked and challenges Malvina to the throne. Before coming across Edward and Nancy, Morgan awakens in Andalasia as a cartoon character. The residents of the kingdom, including their enormous troll companion, are becoming weaker as the enchantment of the land is being drawn up into a vortex. Morgan Giselle's memory tree, which has magic that may aid her but is perishing due to the wish, is demonstrated by Edward and Nancy. But it's refilled by Morgan's own recollections. While Edward stays behind to guard the realm, she recreates her childhood memory tree and leaves with Nancy for the real world. When the night of the winter ball comes, Pip takes the wand away from Ruby and Rosaline. Before the shocked guests, Giselle and Malvina fight with magic. Then, Andalasia begins to penetrate the outside world. As Nancy and Robert work to assist Giselle, Morgan joins them. Malvina is subdued by her, and when Morgan tries to show Giselle the memory tree, she shatters it and declares it to be junk. Giselle is then surrounded by the tree's enchantment, which helps her let go of her cruel persona by reminding her of who she really is. Malvina confines Morgan in vines and threatens to kill her unless Giselle gives over the wand, as Giselle is ready to reverse the wish. She does, and Malvina steps on it. She waits for the clock to strike midnight so the wish remains permanent, but Robert and Tyson go up to stop the clock from hitting midnight. Giselle, who is beginning to deteriorate as everything and everyone from Andalasia is dying, is visited by Morgan when she is free. Since Morgan is legally Giselle's child and so also a descendant of Andalasia, she uses her own magic to wish for things to go back to how they were before Malvina intervened to stop Robert and Tyson. As soon as Morgan awakens, she hurries to the kitchen to find Giselle and congratulates her on reversing the wish. Everyone who receives a request merely believes they just woke up from an odd dream. Malvina accepts Giselle's invitation to join the town council after she makes an effort to get to know her. Morgan begins to spend more time with Tyson, and Robert has relocated his office to Monroeville so he won't have to commute. When Edward and Nancy arrive, the family is in the middle of a celebration. After that, Giselle enjoys her day with Robert with the knowledge that she has a true happily ever after.